look, man, at the end of the day, we can even go and say, oh, in Dubai has been shut for a while.
I've never seen it operate. I noticed that's kind of your strategy. A lot of your agents as well are doing that. They're making videos, they're posting informative content.
If you stand between half full and empty, I don't want you on my team. A lot of times people say, oh, you have 200,000 followers, that's why you have leads. And doesn't matter.
Should I go to the DLD now and ask my money back? Do you think I'll get my money back? Any further relating issues that the buyer has is not my issue.
False.
Hello guys, welcome to the Real Estate and Mind podcast with my co-host Raunak Thakur and myself Michael Doyle, and today we have a very special guest. A lot of you guys will know this gentleman from social media, absolutely killing it and a real role model for all of us here in the industry. So Zoheb, pleasure to sit with you today, bro.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you having us.
Thank you for coming over. I appreciate that.
Our pleasure.
It's the first time it's the other way around.
Yeah. Actually loving the studio though.
Thank you. Thanks to my partner, of course. I left the creativity and designing to him, even though I was a pain sometimes, in the behind, but I think
awesome.
we tolerate each other sometimes.
We've seen the progress, like on Instagram, when you guys were setting it up back in April, and like to kind of walk in and see how it's kind of taking shape. It's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely awesome, man.
This is open to the public. If anybody wishes to rent it out,
That'll be me.
Asad was telling us.
Contact Asad. That's it.
That'll be me from other podcasts.
We'll be spending a lot of time here.
You're welcome anytime
Awesome.
at all. I'm sure he'd give you a good deal as well.
Yeah. So
Perfecto.
let's get into it. So we're discussing about 2014, like Michael and I. It was that time the market was at its peak, right? And now we see over here the market is also going up. Do you think it'll reach and it'll cross that peak, or it's just gonna be like 2014 was the peak?
Where are we compared to 2014 right now? Do you have an idea?
We don't have exact numbers, but if you look at 2014 itself, like if you look at the last kind of decade, you know what I mean, more than a decade, obviously there's ups and downs, but 2014 is when it kind of Mount Everested, if you know what I mean. And now we're kind of, we're 3/4 of the way up that peak. So people are speculating that there's a lot more demand now, a lot more projects, everything like that. So obviously it's speculation whether prices will continue to go and stuff like that. But if you kind of look at it in that aspect, it looks strong. Like, do you think we're going to kind of surpass that, or?
I wish I could give an answer, but what I understood was, like, we check a lot of reports, myself, my wife, and recommending to the team also to do that. So you have the UBL report, you have the Knight Frank, obviously. You've got your local reports that the people are preparing here. But from looking at these two things, as well as doing your basic Google research, from what I understood, about 95,000 business licenses were opened up, from which about 45,000 were general trading licenses. So let's say an approximate of 10 people in each company of the trade license. Forget the 95K. Let's talk about the 45K. Trade licenses that were the general trading licenses. So if each one has about 10 employees working in there, multiply that into the next, let's say, 3 years, because that's when we're expecting majority of the influx of the product which is announced today to come into the market.
Yeah.
So 45,000 licenses into 10 people average.
Wow.
Right? So I feel that, okay, no, let's not go there. Plus, adding to this, I've mentioned this in various videos regarding the instability across the globe.
Yeah.
A lot of turmoil. I come from India, and I see it happen there for various factors, which I don't want to really put out, but we all understand. You've got our neighbors, which is Pakistan. You've got things happening in Iran. You've got things happening in Australia. A lot of influx of people coming in from there. UK, we all know, I repeated 100 times, it's not the safest city to walk in today.
Yeah.
You walk around with one of these pieces on your wrist, you're done.
Yeah.
Right? US, lots and lots of instability. Right? Banks are shutting down.
Particularly this area.
Yeah.
Every single day. What you get to hear about and what you don't get to hear about. Right? So I think all this is just bringing in people every single day because they want a safe zone for their families more than anything else. You work hard, they work hard, we work hard. At the end of the day, what do you want? Peace of mind.
Yeah.
When you work that hard, you want peace of mind. You don't want to always have that tension at the back of your head. Right? A lot of other Asian countries are having similar issues. Taxes are being flying everywhere. I think Singapore recently increased their taxes to 60%.
Really?
Wow.
And I think this is to do with property. I didn't really dig in deep. I don't have too many clients from Singapore, but a few. And I get to hear things like this. So I understand. So I feel that we're probably going to continue a incline for a bit more. And then just like a stock, I feel we'll start trading around that area. And you'll have your ups and downs, probably in that zone. Because the demand is there, the people are relocating, people are buying second homes, people are buying a home for their family to move into after 3 years, till they do their setup
Yeah.
for the time they want to relocate everyone. So I think that's going to be that mark maybe in the next 1-2 years. And I think we're going to trade healthy over there this time. Unlike the previous times where there were no regulations, no systems in place, and so on and so forth, where everyone was just jumping left, right, and center.
Yeah.
His Highness Sheikh Mohammed also put it out that I am not going to allow speculators to play around too much. I understand you want to make your money, that's great, but you can't increase the rent overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you can't sell the property on a booking fee of 10%. These are great regulations that the government is putting in. And this is what's going to help this economy become a more mature economy and handle these issues and problems and make sure that we don't skyrocket and then crash face down. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Interesting what you said there, though, with the new regulations. I'm not actually familiar with that. So obviously, like, you know, paying a 10% booking fee, 20% plus 4% DLD, whatever, and flipping has been a big kind of tactic of a lot of investors over here. So do you think that's kind of coming to an end? The age of that is coming to an end. People buying up whole floors and then, you know, turning them over for a profit and stuff. Is that what they're kind of trying to put a cap on now?
I don't think they're going to put a cap on it because these are the guys that run most of the business here, the guys who come and buy the entire floors. But I also feel that the people who come and buy the entire floors, I mean, as nice as it sounds that, hey, I sold a floor and, you know, I bought a floor or whatever, but bear in mind, something like this is not as easy to flip as well. When you buy an entire floor, you don't just buy the nicer units, you also buy some crappy units.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what we steer away from. We say, okay, you know what, you want to buy 15, 20 units? Let's do unit selection rather than just buy everything on a floor. Because tomorrow what I want to sell is I want to sell the premium stuff and I want to make sure that I only have premium product. Easier to offload. But if I'm stuck with the stuff at the back, just because the developer gave me the opportunity to be able to sell at 30% instead of the 40%, then I might get left over with product that nobody wants to buy.
Kind of defeats the purpose, right? It's like,
Right? I mean, hey, I'd love to go around screaming on my social that, hey, I just sold an entire floor, but you know what? I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather pick up 20 products in various buildings within the community or diversify in various communities. And that's how I've been doing my things since back in the day.
Yeah, 100%.
No, the thing is, so you're saying like diversifying in various communities. Like, can you name like some of the communities that you're like telling your clients to buy in? Like, I don't know, maybe MBR or...
Sure. Maidan is one of them. JVC is doing pretty okay in terms of rental returns. My team works on that pretty much. You've obviously got Business Bay doing pretty well, but select locations, select product. Not just anything that has a brand means value.
Yeah.
As we all know, right? Just stamping a nice sticker on a building doesn't really add value to the price that they're demanding to begin with.
Yeah.
So that would be nice. Creek Harbor is doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I have been a big fan of the area from day one. It just needs a little more time, in my opinion. But it would still do much better than some of the areas which are more than 30 minutes from Dubai Mall. Let's put it that way. I don't want to take any big names.
Yeah.
We are small brokers in the market. We're not here to attack anyone. We like
No secret
everybody.
sauce. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we just try to. I just make sure my team and I, we focus on prime product in good locations where we believe that there is potential. I'd rather sell this for a lower ticket value than something else for a slightly higher as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, JVC, obviously, it's always transacting, right? Some of the highest kind of ROI there as well that you can get in Dubai. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of people find it, you know, it's not very attractive. There's no water. It's kind of in the middle. There's no metro, like, you know, stuff like this. But I don't think you can go wrong there, really, you know, in terms of investment, right?
I think it makes sense because the location is quite central. It's not the heart of Dubai, but it is still quite central.
Everywhere is the heart of Dubai.
Yeah,
in
I
real
see
estate.
everywhere. Everything is heart of
The
Dubai.
heart of Dubai. It's like,
That sounded like something I had done earlier. But yeah, I think it's pretty decently located. It's not too far out. I think it's about 25 minutes from downtown Dubai
Yeah.
Mall. I like to keep that as my central focal point whenever I consult anybody.
Okay.
I always do that. I
JVC.
say 25 minutes proximity. Check the surrounding areas. How much more land parcels are there? What more can come in there? If there is land parcels, what's the concept going to be with those land parcels? Is it sold to individual developers? Then you got to be a little cautious. Is it one master developer? Then okay, you know what? I still know I'm a little safe because the guy's got capacity
Yeah.
yeah.
to manage, promise, build, deliver.
Yeah. I mean, Akil are fairly good, though, with their, you know, with what
Nakhil is
they-
good, man. Nakhil has been delivering from day one. You know, the concept back in the day, people, you are a Dubai kid, so you
Yeah.
know Palm Jumeirah is going to sink.
Oh yeah.
I heard
But
it is, though, is it?
10 years plus, man. I
Man,
don't
that
know, 12
makes
years
sense.
plus.
Still,
Come on.
Still there. Like,
It's still
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That was always
Burj Al
that
Arab
thing.
is going down.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Really?
Yeah.
Segue, Zoheb, Palm Jabal Ali.
What about it?
What does it, you know, obviously.
I mean,
we've
like
heard-
Palm Jabal Ali, I understand, right? Like the launch over there, the prices over
But
there.
is it the launch? That's what everybody's saying because it's been, you know, it's been a good few times that it was kind of announced. Do you think, you know, they're breaking ground on it this time?
I think this time it's going to be a little more aggressive. There is demand, as we
Yeah.
all know. You must have also noticed now developments on the coast in the neighboring vicinities of Palm Jumeirah and Palm Jabal Ali have also started to arise again.
Yeah.
I've been watching. I consume a lot of content, so I know what's going on with the brokers in the market. And I also saw that this one community that was announced probably pre-COVID, somewhere along the lines of Palm Jumeirah, Palm Jabal Ali, further out, this way, that way, that one has woken up again.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all know who I'm talking about, if y'all do. But yeah, so product is starting to move around these areas as well. But if it's priced right, I think the investors will make money on that too.
I really like the layout. I mean, like the way the Palm Jabal Ali is made with the crescent is actually connecting to the mainland. You know, like not like Palm Jumeirah where you have to come
Yes.
out and
I'm so glad they did that.
yeah, so amazing.
That's probably the best
That's
improvement.
like the best
you know?
improvement I think because
For sure, yeah. Because if someone calls me to Anantara, I'm like, bro,
Yeah, it's like I just want to get a boat.
that's
Like,
20 minutes after entering Palm Jumeirah, you know.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I honestly thought they would like build bridges or something though. After
I wish
some
they
years.
did.
Yeah,
But I have heard about some talks of a monorail, air rail, whatever you want to call it, that connects Blue Waters to Beachfront to Palm Jumeirah and so on.
all the seafront stuff. Like,
Probably in the next 5-7 years, I think it should come into play. But you know, Dubai is Dubai.
yeah.
They say it. Maybe not today. Maybe 3 years down the line, they will deliver.
It's the same thing with JVC as well. I'm hearing that there's going to be some metro line going through that area. I think in the next 4 or 5 years, some purple line, if I'm not mistaken, something like that is
Correct.
coming in JVC. I mean, how true is that? Because I've not seen anyone like actually talking about it much. It's just, is it going to be there like in the next 4 or 5 years, you think?
I know a line is going to be passing between Shoba and Riviera by Azizi.
Yeah.
Because they both have the metro station designed in their model. Now they
Wow.
cannot put that unless and until the Dubai Land Department and RTA and
Yeah.
everybody approves it. So that line is expected to go past to Creek Harbor on one side, and on the other side past Ranches 3, further down to Damak Hills, and after Damak Hills, I don't know where it's going to go, but since JVC is in proximity,
Yeah.
so maybe, or maybe they might do a shuttle, I don't know.
Yeah.
good news for Creek as well. Like, yeah,
Oh yeah, Creek has got 4 metro stations planned, as we all know.
Yeah.
And with the way that they have been pushing on the Creek in terms of development, is doing pretty well. I remember back in the day, I used to go to Creek Harbor. There was a 2-lane road on each side.
Yeah.
Today we're 6 or 7 lanes each side.
Wow.
There was no flyover back in the day. We used to go down towards International City, make a U-turn, and then come back.
Well,
to hit Creek Harbor. That was an additional 15 minutes.
wow.
Yeah.
Selling the concept to the investor at that time
Yeah.
was something else.
Just trust me, okay? It's gonna be there.
No, but
Yeah.
this is why I'm pretty confident with MR. They promise, they deliver, and they try to make it a point to make the communities do better.
Yeah.
What do you think of the area, like, you know, the Mina Rashid area, the
Oh, yeah,
port
that was
area
my next
over there?
question. Mina Rashid.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's in the middle of the city, no doubt. We could call that area whatever, Port Rashid, Mina Rashid, Rashid Yachts and Marina, or whatever the new developers or the other developers are
Yeah.
picking up land parcels and calling it. Personally, the prices that are there today kind of don't sit well with me, because Dubai Karama attracts a different kind of clientele. And pre-COVID, since we had launches there earlier as well, I'm sure you guys must have been aware, the prices were a lot lower compared to what we are at today. But this is today's market value.
Yeah.
So I can't say that, you know what, oh, the prices were different then, so I'm not going to buy now. Maybe today's market price is that, and people are willing to pay. People are selling entire buildings. I know a gentleman personally who has sold an entire building over there.
Wow.
Wow.
That's great.
Right?
So, yeah. So, but my thing is, what sort of, like in Mina Rashid, I feel like more because it's very close to Karama and Dubai, and you all know like Dubai is an Indian community, a lot of like this thing. So do you think like it'd be attractive for like, you know, for like these Indian investors who is like, because, you know, I know they work and stay in Dubai. Mina Rashid is like so close for them. Do you think like these are the people who are targeted for Mina Rashid? Like, since, you know, Dubai is not a freehold area.
Correct.
And the closest one is that Wassel Gate, Wassel this thing, which I know a lot of
There's a lot
Indians.
of business owners over there and
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah, I think it's our Asian clientele that will be more
Yeah.
inclined to purchase product because they love that area, Dubai Karama Dera, and they don't want to get out of there.
Yeah.
No matter what you
Yeah.
offer to them.
Yeah.
So this is kind of something that ticks the box for them. And I think these business owners that you mentioned will probably end up purchasing product for themselves and also to rent out. Plus, Dera is so close.
Yeah.
Jumeirah is so close.
Especially with that new tunnel. I mean, sorry, that new
The new
Infinity
flyover, yeah.
Infinity Bridge. Wow, man. They're
It's
just
huge.
like.
I've
the
been on
whole-
there, I think, once or twice, and I was amazed.
What's going on with the floating bridge?
I mean, it's
It's been closed for a long time.
I
actually.
mean, that's fine. That's
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
floating
I
bridge
heard.
has been closed for a while. I think there's something going on, but it's fine. I think it'll open up soon. That's because the Infinity Bridge is there, so it's fine. Like, you know, to cover it up.
I mean, look, man, at the end of the day, we can even go and say, oh, the Ain Dubai has been shut for a while.
I've never seen it operate.
But I mean, see, man, Dubai doesn't build stuff just for decor, right? At the end of the day, the kind of money they put in, they need to recover that. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe in the next 30, 40 years, but still.
I've heard so many theories why it's not operating though.
Some people are like, it's going to sink. Some people,
Someone told me because the boxes like in this thing, some are like bigger, some are smaller, so it's like the weight distribution is not proper. So when it spins, there's like some of them are like on top for some time. It's a whole different theory.
That
Like
sounds
because
like
I was
a-
speaking to a friend of mine who's an engineer, and he was telling me about it because they worked on that project.
That seems like a pretty
Yeah.
big engineering mistake though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so that's the thing.
but I don't know, man. Something of that magnitude,
It's so big.
I don't know if someone can just make an engineering error.
I don't believe that. Like, there's
Right?
no way.
I
they
mean,
didn't-
what was the cost to build that? Couple of $100 million? I don't know.
easy?
Right?
Easy.
It's the biggest one in the world.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would have just put it up there and be like, oops, that screw was not supposed to be there.
Someone's getting fired. I don't like. I you kind of look at it and you're like, wow, it's amazing. But it's only when you look at like the address next to it and you're like, oh, this is
Wow.
colossal. Like
Yeah.
this is massive. You know, it's just typical
Plus,
Dubai though.
Blue Waters is such a hot area.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Russian water. I mean, no.
Right?
Russian
Blue
Waters
Waters
Island.
is such a hot area. I don't
Yeah.
think they can blunder up like that.
Yeah.
No.
Fine, there must have been some technical issue. That's why it's not functional. Maybe it's not functional because of whatever reason they want to announce it eventually. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And I want to go on it one day anyway. Because
Yeah.
since I've been here, it's just been like sitting there.
No, but you know how RAC is opening a casino?
Hot topic.
Hot topic, right? So do you think Dubai will also do something like that to, you know, match with RAC? Because think about it, like once a casino opens, like it's a whole game changer. You know what I mean?
Then even my expectation of this trading zone will probably shoot out.
Yeah.
Will blow up. Like this will not happen.
I think like if they do you think they'll open like near Blue Waters or something like
Caesar's Palace or something.
yeah, there's Caesar's Palace already over there. You know what I mean?
I heard there was like a loophole where it's like it's not on the land, it's on the sea, so it's not like liable.
Let's
for
put
the
it
law
this
of the
way.
land.
Let's put it this way. We've got 2 cruise terminals.
Yeah.
What do cruise ships have?
Casinos.
Let's just drop
Case
it on that. Let's not dive more into detail on this topic because could stir up some shit. But
Yeah.
we get the idea.
But if they do open it over there, wow, the market price will go up. Like
Be a lot of
especially
Chinese
Blue
guys
Waters.
coming in.
Like,
Today we have 50,000 agents. That time we'll have 80,000 agents. It's all
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
still nothing compared to New York, though,
More
right?
business. Yeah, or New York's got like 80,000 agents, I think.
80?
Something like that,
But
yeah.
New York is huge, isn't it, comparatively?
I don't know geographically.
Because New York has like these Queens and Jersey
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this and that, which
Harlem
is
and
like
stuff.
half an hour, 45 minutes,
Yeah.
1
Yeah.
hour away.
I know that. Well, I've heard that every property needs to be exclusive with one agent in New
Correct.
York. So
Not, I don't think necessarily, but yes, over there the practice is more carried
most
as
part.
exclusive. Yes,
One listing agent would be there, I'm just assuming, and nothing like that in Dubai. Like in Dubai, it's like 3, right? So
and I think it's so much better.
yeah, but it's still better than like how it was before, where like 10 agents would list like 10 properties and like the same thing, and it's just like at different prices, like maybe like 2 dirhams lesser than I was like,
And that concept was so retarded or so unacceptable. The seller is thinking over there that, wow, my property's in so much demand. I have so many brokers calling me. I'll list with all of them. Somebody will sell it. And the buyer, on the other hand, is like, oh my God, this particular type of unit that I'm looking for, there's so many of them. I'm going to lowball this guy.
yeah, that's the thing. And the one buyer will call all the 10
Exactly.
agents, and then they will all call the seller, and he'll be like,
Exactly.
wow, 10 buyers. Like
I'm not negotiating. And the
Yeah.
buyer is like, what the hell? Why is he not negotiating?
it was kind of a mess, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
But I'm glad they do what they do. I think Dubai is really, really young, right? They
Yeah.
need the time to establish. They're putting in things every single day. And that's what's good. But good things take time sometimes, And I
Yeah.
think we should, and I think they're doing a really good job. And I think we should let them do what they do in the right manner.
100%.
Yeah.
Like they rarely bring a regulation in that in the long term isn't helping agents.
That's the thing.
Helping agents, helping buyers and sellers more
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah, especially that QR code thing that came out over there.
Yes.
The KC thing.
Yes.
That's the new thing, like to verify properties and all, because
100%.
anyone could just, especially for rentals. I don't want to like badmouth any people. Like, actually, the thing is, one agent had called me. Like, to be honest, this story that actually happened. Because the seller, he gave my number. He's like, look, if you have a buyer, just contact my agent. Great. He contacted me. He's like, oh, look, I have this guy and all. Can you send me the photos? Great. I sent him the photos. Next thing you know, he's using those same photos and listing it online as this thing. And the worst is like our Axe Capital,
He didn't even take the logo
Yeah,
off,
he didn't even
like,
take the
it's
logo
like-
off. So you can see Axe Capital and the other this thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. I thought he wanted to view the property. He had clients. And, there's all these things that are happening. Like, also a lot of new agents are coming in the market. Like they have this dream. Like, man, I will sell something and I will make millions in like 2 months, 3 months. What is the realistic thing that you should be telling these new agents coming in the market? Like, look, how long do you have to be patient for, before you actually like stabilize? Because I've seen a lot of agents, it's like a revolving door, in the agency companies. Like, you come in and you come out after 2 months because, I didn't do anything in these 2 months. You know what I
see
mean?
it in the mindset though, just on that. Like, I don't know how many agents have called me. It's a 600K studio. It's probably overpriced. The first words out of their mouth are, "Can we do top up?" And it's like, bro, like,
I mean, like, if your client is any like with anything, you just go look at Property Finder and be like, look, I can see for 600. Why are you telling me it's 700? You know what I mean? Like, and that's where you lose the trust as well with this thing, right?
no, I mean, you want to do well for the seller, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you do. You
want
want
to do well for the buyer,
Yeah.
know, because you understand that it's a long-term game, like there's no point trying to
You understand it's a long-term game.
It
And
is.
he understands it's a long-term game, but not everybody else does. But I will
100%.
tell you, it's not just to blame the brokers. I understand that they're new, they're fresh, they want to earn money. It's their right. They want to put in the grind, the hustle, whatever it is. But I also feel sometimes agency owners also overpromise.
Yeah.
And sometimes the market gives them that hope that it's so simple. And you know how we used to say back in the day that just because if it was so simple, everyone else would do it. But today,
Yeah.
we try to portray it in such a manner that it's so simple. People
Yeah.
look at lifestyles.
Yeah.
People look at cars. I have my clients sit across the table and be like, bro, you got a shit ton of watches, eh? I'm like, okay, yeah, man, this is money that I earned from my passive income. I have apartments in Dubai myself. I am invested in the game. So you know what? I'd rather enjoy now than I'm 70, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But not in a bad manner, in a good, friendly manner. But this is what I'm trying to say, that agencies overpromise, HR overpromises, brokers' capabilities, they don't filter, they don't proof, they don't check. Hey, you hungry? You want to make money? Yalla, come to real estate. You'll make $1 million dirhams in a year.
Wow.
That's it. I feel like some agents, like some agencies as well. That's the thing. It's almost like they're just enlisting an army of callers, you know, and just like throw enough shit at the wall and something will stick. You
Yep.
know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
And there's no cost involved, right? You tell them,
It's
hey,
the
come
thing.
over, work 3 months. Let's see how you do. Here's a list. Smash it. You close the deal. Great. I'll get you the visa.
Yeah.
You don't close the deal, no problem, bro. Go check another place. You can do okay over there.
Yeah.
This
Wow.
guy keeps hopping. 6-8 months. He's broke. He doesn't know what to do. He probably goes back and gets a day job.
This is the
That's
thing.
the thing.
man.
Like, and the worst is these people who are 3 months are on visit visa.
I know.
Technically, are not allowed
I
to
know.
work. And agencies, I mean, I don't want to badmouth some agencies also, but they do ask for visa costs if you don't close a deal. And you know, you're
For
like,
sure.
My previous
man.
agency did it to me. I won't hang them out, but yeah.
Yeah, you know, so same like
He
they
actually put
ask.
absconding on me and everything, like, you know.
Yeah,
It's
so
like-
that's the thing. So it's just
Yeah.
because you have to pay me like this much, or you know, because I invested in you and you didn't like.
You
this
didn't,
thing.
you didn't perform and return the money that I put down for
Yeah,
you.
like-
I understand.
And the
And that's
thing-
why it's so
yeah.
important, man. I tell people, listen, man, you could hire 600 agents or 500 agents or 200 agents and 10% will perform. Great. Or you hire 10 agents. Get them to perform.
Yeah.
Once those guys are bringing in their own business, move on to the next 10. Move on to the next 10. But everybody wants to become rich quick.
It's just different
The hiring
individuals with
process
different
also.
visions, like,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's, you know, I mean, that's a lot more sensible way to do things. But
Yeah, I've seen since the market picked up, a couple of companies sold a few floors here and there to their buyers, promising them the world. And then once the buyer comes back, you're like, hey, you know what? Let's stick to your commitment. I stuck to mine. You said it. I bought it. Can we resell? Oh no, hold on for now. Oh no, the market's slow. Oh, it's summer. Oh, nobody's here.
Yeah.
What has happened? The seller.
what about Bear and Bulls? How many agents you got?
Currently 6. 2 more in the probably by next month. they
How's
will be
everything
on.
going? Good.
In terms of what?
I mean, obviously, startup, as we discussed, is tough. You got a lot of stuff to manage, but like, it kind of brings me on to my next question.
Sure.
Like, do you think? Well, you obviously do. The industry is changing. There's no cold calls. There's no this. There's no that. It's a branding. It's a personal branding of agents' time, arguably, right? So, I noticed that's kind of your strategy. A lot of your agents as well are doing that. They're making videos. They're posting informative content. They're providing value to people. So, do you think that's the way the industry is going now? And these older companies that are just, like we discussed, throwing agents at the wall,
Buy
do
data.
you think they are dying? They are going to phase out if they don't get on board? And B, how has it been for you with your guys, you know?
When I started this in 2018 with social, Asad was the guy who was on my head because he saw that I used to post Insta stories and so on and so forth. And he's played a major role in developing my brand, along with the K9 team, Fahad and Majdi, two friends. They run my social as well. Social, would it be the way to go? In my opinion, yes. I haven't run a campaign for myself in the past 5 years. All my leads come to me organically. It's as stressful as cold calling in terms of generating content, producing content, and then putting it out.
Yeah.
But I don't have someone shouting at me or swearing at me at the same time, you know?
Wow. Yeah.
Except Assad.
Except for Asad, yeah. But I believe social is the way to go forward. My team does put out content. For them, I think it's going okay. That's what I try to do, and what I said earlier. Set up a team of X number of agents, establish them, and then move to the next ones. So that's what I'm trying to do today. I've got 6 people on board. 2 of them have already started bringing in decent numbers from the leads that I provide them. These are my direct leads that come to me. I run an introductory call with the client or a conversation with them before I pass the lead on to the person I believe can handle this individual.
No.
And what was the second question? Sorry.
I guess you kind
how
of
is it
covered it.
going?
How's
Yeah.
it going for your guys? Yeah.
So now I've got 2 people already running and bringing in some business. I have another 4 to focus on, and they are my prime focus today. So I'm working on the next 4. Hopefully they can start smashing it. I know not everyone can last during this period, and that is why I try and put out a chart in front of every single person that sits across the table. It's a simple chart. It's like a fuel tank. You have your E, you have your half full, and you have your full. And this is regarding the money that you have in your wallet. That's what I asked them. I said, where do you stand? If you stand between half full and empty, I don't want you on my team, because you know what? You're going to come to the office with the stress at the back of your head that, hey, I need money. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. I can't deal with that right now. I'm busy setting up shop. I need that person to be between medium and full, that he can last at least 3 to 6 months without any earnings. If you can do that, and you're a performer, and you're someone that's been in the market for at least a year or 2, this is not a recruitment video. I'm not hiring any more people, but I'm just saying, this is what I put in front of them, because I don't want them to come here with the stress that I don't have money, I got bills.
Yeah.
So just this, I feel, is, the right thing in terms of establishing your brokers.
In terms of like your hiring process also, I saw that video. Tell me about that. Like, what made you think like, yeah, just send me a 1-minute video rather than like, I know a lot of people like, I know it's like a little different. I mean, it's obviously different from this thing, but what made you think like, yeah, send me a 1-minute video? And I also saw another video where you posted where you like, people were sending you CVs on DMs, and it was just like, man, look, if I give you a lead for like someone 6 million, you're going to offer him like a studio. I mean, I really laughed at that. I was like, yeah, I mean, like for sure that would happen. Like, you know what I mean? But what made you think, yeah, send me a 1-minute video, And what sort of a video? Like,
I didn't want them to do anything special, even though I was amazed by one of the guys. He actually rented a studio. He had backlight, ceiling light, and mic, and the works.
Wow.
And I really commended him on that. I was like, bro, what you've done is way out of the ordinary. But this was not required. A simple video. Hold your phone up. Hi, my name is Z. I want to work with you. I've been in the market for a year. I work for this company. This is what I've done. This is what I can do. This is what I want to learn from you, or whatever. And that's it. But yes, I had about 80 or 90 videos sent across to me from people.
Wow.
Simple videos. A lot of them asked me, what do you want me to say? I said, just say whatever you want to say in 1 minute.
wow.
Has to be nothing at all important. You could just tell me how your day went.
How many did you consider?
I only got 8 on board.
Out of those 80, 90 videos.
Yes. And the reason why I did this is because if I asked for a CV, I know I'd get thousands,
Yeah.
right? And thousands is being conservative. I know how many I would get. So I was like, if I want to save time and not go through, let's say, 1,000 CVs, each CV into 3 to 4 minutes to figure out where he's put his experience and where he's worked and what he's done, because no single CV has the same format, right?
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I don't have the time for this. That's almost, I don't know how many hours. Let me do this. Let me put this out. What am I going to lose? 1.5 hour, 2 hours, 1 minute a video?
Yeah.
I can do that. I got to know the person before they walked in.
Exactly.
I got to understand how they speak, what's their motive, what's their intention, what kind of personality they have, before I let them come into my shop. I saved a shit ton of time. I don't have HR or anyone. So I was like, you know what? This works for me. Time saving is everything, man.
Yeah, time is money.
Time
That's
is money, right?
Yeah,
It's
we all
interesting
say it.
the way you run shop, like, I think that's the problem. We discussed it with a lot of agencies. Like, when I first started, I found out what a title deed was when a client sent one to me. Like, there's zero training. Zero. Like,
In the previous company, of course.
in the previous company. So, I mean, I feel like a lot of people, even if they have potential, it's very important who you're following, who you're listening to, who you're taking experience from. And that's part of the reason why I moved from that company to obviously where I am now. But I feel like obviously someone who comes and works with you, if they're cut out for it or they're not, they'll have a fair shot and they'll know about it. They'll have given it everything they could possibly give it, which is more than some people get in this industry. So
Two-way relation is the best, right? Like,
Yeah.
And I don't think even the training should be given once
Yeah.
you join. We're human beings. We're
Right.
made to forget.
Yeah.
we will forget. Sometimes we'll need guidance. So you know what? Do the training at least once a quarter.
Yeah.
Refresh yourself.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put up a nice video, training in progress, 50 agents sitting there. And I'll talk about any particular agency. I see a lot of agencies doing that. And I understand they do it for recruitment purpose.
That's why, yeah.
But when you do this one time, please repeat it again. It is much required.
Yeah, 100%. It can kind of get you on back on track a lot of the time as well, because this game has a lot of rejection, and it's good to kind of go back to the fundamentals sometimes and just, put the train back on the rails.
But
100%.
your agents, are they also focusing on the secondary market or just on the primary?
My broker is allowed to sell whatever they want.
They're allowed to sell.
That's their
And
choice.
have they been facing any issues on the secondary side of the listing? You know what I mean? Like trying to find properties, speaking to agents, and
I think they're trying to keep their focus on what I do.
yeah.
Like I said, not everyone can survive in that period because it's a tough period. Because I've been doing this for a few years now. Today I can say my leads come to me and I can work on that. And I give them those leads to handle. But what we do is off-plan is not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
It is a tough negotiation or discussion that happens with the buyers or the sellers or whatever. But if they want to do secondary, I know they face some trouble sometimes. That's why I ask them, whatever is your requirement, shoot it out to me. I'll post it on my social, and I will have industry experts reach out to me, and I'll forward that contact, and then they can handle it from there.
Rather than just calling Property Finder all the agents and agents going like, I don't work with agents. And
Like I said, man, it's the time to do things smarter. We
Yeah.
have access. We have everything open in front of us. If I want a listing, if I want an agent to contact me for a property, I have to put it out there, provided the pricing and everything is realistic. And I have agents reach out to me every single day. Not because I have 100,000 followers. It doesn't make a difference. One of my girls has 1,800 followers. She made a sale on a video
Wow.
of plan deal too.
That's great.
Sick.
So a lot of times people say, oh, you have 200,000 followers. That's why you have leads. Doesn't matter. You never know who's watching.
Right.
That's the thing. But the thing is, people just want to say, oh, you have 200,000 followers or this thing. But the thing is, they don't want to put the hard work in, right? For their social medias and all. They just see us or see you especially and oh, okay, I can do that. I know it's easy to do that. But they don't do it. That's the thing.
Do it, please.
Easy to do it. I know it's easy.
Shia LaBeouf, do it.
You know what I mean? It's simple. The process is simple, right? The whole thing. It's just not easy. It's simple.
I think for the agents that are trying it out, and that's great. I appreciate everyone's effort. A lot of people think I can be cocky sometimes at other agents or whatever. But whenever I meet them anywhere and I see whoever it may be, you could be here. There are agents that have way more followers than I do.
Yeah.
I have nothing comparatively, but I acknowledge their effort. I tell them, you know what, good job. And one guy turned around like, oh, really? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm like, why are you surprised? Doesn't matter. I see you put in the grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That brings results. That's why you're doing it. So don't stop. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
On that note, to kind of preface this, obviously the US dollar is pegged to the dirham. And the US dollar has been weakening, let's say. So you could argue that Europeans, people from Britain and stuff like that, people worldwide have a lot more buying power these days. But, a lot of people are hesitant because there's a kind of stereotype about Dubai, or maybe they think it's a complex market to get into, and they don't realize, the way it is over here and how, if you work with someone reputable, how easy it can be to get on the ladder, and make the right choice and get a very good investment. So in terms of the actual leads that come through to you, how many of these people, in general, are international buyers that kind of see your videos, find you trustworthy and informative, and reach out to you that way? Europeans, international buyers, Americans, what kind of percentages do you see?
I think because of my nationality and maybe my accent or whatever, I tend to attract a lot of Asian buyers. Be you Indian, Pakistani, Bangladesh, Sri Lankan, etc., etc. I also have some buyers from quite a few buyers from the UK, some from the US, parts of Europe, Switzerland, Poland, etc.
Interesting.
A few Mexicans as well. But I wouldn't be able to put a percentage on whatever nationalities that I work with. But Asians have a majority. I'll say that.
They're big buyers over here, though.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, in general, like, right?
Let's
Indians.
say for Indians and all, and do they come up to you and go like, yeah, I want to buy a unit, but it has to be Vastu compliant, you know?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
All the time, yeah. Like even on offline, like, yeah, where's the north facing over there, right? Exactly.
And I think it's important to get them what they need, right? That's
Yeah,
what we
exactly,
do. This
but-
is why we are who we are.
Do you also recommend them to like your other buyers who are not Vastu compliant, but just tell them, yeah, buy Vastu because in case you want to resell it later, you know it can be
Yes,
less.
we do put it out, but I believe that more than Vastu, I mean, okay, please don't put this on, yeah, Asad. Vastu is good if you're targeting that particular audience that looks for it. But I think more than anything, if I am making an investment purchase, the most important thing for me to do is, let's say the building is 45 floors. The apartments start from the 10th floor to the 45th floor. That's what, 35 apartments. I want to pick that one particular type of unit that there are only 35 of.
Yeah.
I have an upper hand when I want to resell. Be it Vastu, be it non-Vastu. I don't want to buy a unit because it's cheap, sitting at the back. Oh, this one's going to appreciate for sure. Or too small in size, or has a killer deal on it.
Yeah.
I want to focus on that one particular apartment that there are only 30, 35 of in the entire tower. I will have an upper hand to resell.
So in that sense, it's very important to be early in on launches.
Early in for sure, because
Yeah.
you get the option to select and you get to choose what you want rather than take what is being offered to you
What's
because
left.
nobody else wants to buy it.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And that's why I tell my buyers, I'm like, listen, if you're not going in early in the right product and the right development, then I think we should wait for the
Let's
next
wait.
one.
Yeah. That's fine. Like that's fair enough. You should like this thing rather than forcing them to buy or pushing them to buy. Because I've seen a lot of people like, oh yeah, buy this one for sure. It'll appreciate for sure. Pay now, like. So it just becomes like a. It's good that we should like. Just help out the buyer because we're advisors at the end of the day. I mean, the salespeople are.
I wish everyone believed that
Like,
and practiced it.
We're
But, yeah.
advisors. We take them to other developers who actually have their own salespeople over there. They're the ones who are doing the selling. We're just advising them, like like this,
Correct.
this, and this.
Correct.
But yeah, that's what I feel like.
I think as long as you can change this mentality from a salesman to a consultant,
Yeah,
which is very difficult for a
Yeah.
lot of people, including myself initially also to do. But once you get that in your mind and you can sustain for a bit before you start attracting those kind of clients, like I deal with 99% investors.
yeah.
Local market, quite a few huge families, as well as international markets with people with generational wealth and so on and so forth.
They just blindly trust you and like now
I wouldn't-
you have reached that.
I wouldn't
level.
say blindly trust, and I don't let them do that either,
Yeah.
because my job description as a consultant is to put 3 of the best offers that I feel on the table, not offers in terms of monetary value, offers in terms of product
Yeah,
that I think will make sense. And then you, with all your questioning, make an informed decision. Not because I said it. I said it today. I could sign the papers with you, get my commission check in my bank account, and my car crashes tomorrow.
yeah,
Right? What are you going to do? No, you make informed decisions. You do your research as well, along with your consultant,
Yeah.
yeah,
to find the right fit. That, you know what, tomorrow, if the market shifts, at least I'm going to generate cash flow.
yeah,
Let the market tank. It's okay. But I know I'm in a prime hotspot. This product will sell easy, and people will choose this one as the first option to rent compared to the other unit. That's why I mentioned 35 units only of the same type in the entire tower gives me an upper hand. Has the best views. Fine, it may not be the cheapest, but I know tomorrow if I want to rent it out, the tenant in a bad market who now can afford this tower will come and look at my unit first.
yeah,
That's what a consultant does.
100%. Yeah.
yeah.
100%. We have a couple of statements here, Zeb. Like,
Okay.
we have a couple of statements here.
True or false statement?
True or false? True or false? So we touched on a lot of this anyway.
Hmm.
Being a real estate broker is a lifestyle, not a job.
Yeah.
True.
True.
It's true, particularly in Dubai, I feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If it was a job, then it would be 9 to 5.
yeah.
True.
It's
Also
not bad.
true.
That's why I like it. So as soon as I get my commission, any further relating issues that the buyer has is not my issue.
False.
A lot.
Everything is my issue.
Yeah. everything.
Of course. Couldn't
He
agree
chose
more.
me to work with me for a reason.
I've seen a lot.
Whatever happens after is my responsibility if I want to keep generating more business
Yeah, a lot of people
from
like-
the same guy. If I don't want to do that, yeah, my job is done.
It's
But
called
that's not how we
integrity,
work.
a lot of people disappear. You know, I've seen it like
A
yourself.
lot
right?
more than that. I know that. I know how many people disappear, how they disappear, and what have they done to make that sale for which they had to make sure they disappeared.
It goes back to the first point, like it's a lifestyle rather than a sales job. It's not like, oh,
I want to give you a small example if you have a few moments. I was in one of the cities in India conducting a roadshow. Now, usually how people do roadshows is they will hire an entire hall, have 5-8 tables with their representatives sitting on each table, and have this whole vibe where there's so many people inside, you know, like create a hype to sell. What I do is usually I sit one-to-one with every single individual investor that comes across. I set up a time, and I have one small conference room, probably half the size of this room. And I'll be like, we sit one-on-one with each other, not to create a hype or anything, to understand his requirement. There was an individual who came to me and he said, oh, I have this townhouse in this particular community, which of there are 2. That's all I'm going to say. And he's like, oh, this guy told me that I can get a townhouse over here, which is the first one, for 1.7 million. And I was like, wow, really, at this time? He's like, yes, I have the offer. I said, you know what? If that's the case, can you book one for me as well? I have cash ready. And he's like, no, what do you mean? This is the price I've been quoted. I have the offer. I have the sales purchase offer, whatever. Sales offer. And I asked him, can I see it, please? A little hesitant initially, but then he finally showed it to me. And then when I zoomed into the sales offer, it said the name with number 2. Okay? So that's somewhere really, really far away. I'm talking 45 minutes from the city. And what I understood was he was promised the product in number 1 with the sales offer from number 2 saying that it is the same thing.
And the agent was well aware of this, of course.
That's how it was portrayed to him. The wife sitting next to him, this mid-level family, right? They just want to buy a house across, like in a different country, like Dubai. Wife was in tears, man. She was like, I could have lost my life savings because of this guy. And when I told him the price is 2.4 or 2.5, he couldn't digest it because he was like, bro, I would have lost everything I had.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That shit is scary, man. And I know these
Yeah.
brokers personally from back in the day. They used to work for developers.
Wow.
How do you sleep like at night? No one thought you're basically just
Taking people's
shafting
lives.
a family, like, you know?
He came back to me a week after and he bought the unit which I selected for him at 2.4. But like you said, the broker's disappearing. They do anything to make a sale.
That's kind of another point we had. Like, if, you know, first person, when I visit a developer's office with my client, it is my job to challenge the salesperson on behalf of my client.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
100%.
You have to.
The client works with you not for any other reason, but because of what you have in here and what you're willing to put out for them. Bear in mind, food on your table comes because of them.
100%.
Even though the developer is paying you, the developer is paying you to make the developer's life easy and to help sort the deal out. Not so that you swindle your client, just so that you can make that check and you go back to your office and start cold calling again to find the next guy.
Referrals are a big part of this game.
Yeah.
Everything,
I think referrals
man.
are the best, like, way of.
Everything. That's how my model works. I just recently closed a studio in a nice building in Business Bay downtown. The agent put it up just one day prior. I saw the video. I loved it. I shared it with one buyer that was with me. Next day he transacted. He saw it in person and he bought it. And then he comes from a very, very influential family. And he's like, bro, my brother found out that I just bought the studio with you. I'm back here on the 3rd. Let's go and look at some more product. I have got 6-7 million sitting that I need to park. And you know what? My brother is also coming. And his brother-in-law is also coming along with me
Wow.
in the next 3 days. So make sure you are free. I said, yeah, sure, no problem.
Amazing.
But it's all about that, right? You give them what they want.
Yeah, for
They will
sure.
never leave you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you do this kind of shit, come on, man. You're going back to the phone for cold calling.
Yeah, 100%. But even just like as a lifestyle point of view, like it's rewarding being that guy, right? Being that guy that people trust and having that knowledge. I don't know how you just burn people like for for a quick buck and like you said, hit the phones again.
Once people start hearing the lines when a client tells you, Z, put your hand, we'll buy it. It will change your mindset.
Wow.
When I first heard that 2-3 years ago, and I was like, okay, you know what? This is fucking powerful.
Yeah.
This guy wants to put 12 million dirhams on what I just said. And he said, Z, if you say go for it, I'll go for it. And I was like, you know what? That's it.
That's responsibility.
Follow that shit.
Yeah.
Works wonders. Because the kind of people he knows in his circle are either bigger than him or the same level.
Yeah.
This is what people don't get.
It's the game.
That's the game.
We got one more here.
Okay.
Off-plan investment is dangerous, and I have a higher chance of losing all my money.
False. I wouldn't say it's dangerous. If done right, I think you can be okay.
Lucrative.
Lucrative. It's a lucrative investment.
If done right, and not just go and buy anything and everything that's in the market, because I also want a piece of the pie, I think you should be good.
But nowadays, like the escrow and all is like protecting us, right? Like the buyers and all. Before that, it was not there, right? Escrow.
True, but do you know what happens when a developer goes bust? There's a lot of complications in it. Developer goes bust, he's obviously out of the picture. First, you have to pay off all your major contractors because you need to have them get out. Then you have to get rid of the subcontractors. Then the land department, RERA, will come into action. They will finish up all the disputes. Get rid of all that dispute, then take over the land. Resell the land. Escrow has money, yes, but depends on where the development is, because even money is given to the contractors at certain percentage from the work that they have done. So not that all your money is sitting in there. I know they have to have a bank guarantee and so on and so forth, but all that process can take years for the RERA, DLD, or whoever, the banks, to put that land back in auction, to sell it to somebody else. He will get his architects, engineers, development team, contractors, so on. That's a good, 3-4 year process where your money is dead.
The buyer's at the end of the list, though.
The buyers are the one that takes the biggest hit because they probably bought the wrong product.
You're safer than you were previously, but you're still not foolproof. I mean, there's guys in I have guys in JLT. Some of my sellers, they bought in like the Al Sakran Tower, and it's just dead.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like-
I know because I've seen one of your videos where you used to do JLT Marina Bashar side, right? I've seen that video. When you were there when the Sakran Tower in the cluster R, that's just one.
You're talking about 2008, 2009.
Yeah, I
During the
think-
global economic crisis.
So, I mean, that building is still there. I mean, I don't even know what's happening with that building
I don't
anymore.
know if they can demolish it, can they? Because of the location.
Yeah.
Usually what happens in situations like this, what I just explained, the entire process, that structure will be auctioned
Yeah.
to the next party that wants to buy it.
Nobody,
Because
they want to buy
Dubai
it.
wants to fix the skyline.
Yeah.
They don't want empty pigeonholes, which no one has people living in there, and the building
Yeah.
is half constructed. It looks bad for the image of Dubai.
Yeah.
So they are working on it. There's a lot of towers, even in Marina, I know, are still sitting halfway up.
There's
Yeah.
one next to the 23 there, and it's like I don't know what it is, but it's been sitting there a long time.
Is it next
as
to the
well.
flyover?
Yeah. Tell me about that.
I know the developer personally as well.
What happened with that one?
So the developer came up with this concept a bit too early for its time, where they have 120 or 130 story tower, only penthouse duplex.
Oh, really?
And the concept was you'd have chandeliers from Swarovski, you'd have your Rolls Royces waiting down for you to take you wherever you want to go. You'd have Azimut yachts sitting at the pier. Whenever you want to take a boat, you can go out. This is not for everyone. This was for the 120 select families
Yeah.
who can spend 15 million, 20 million for a penthouse at that time, until 2008. But obviously we didn't have escrow in place and so on and so forth. Developers gone bust. They will probably auction out that structure that is there halfway up pretty soon. And I think that's the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah. It's right next to 23, just like facing the flyover, basically.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. A lot of towers.
So a lot of people bought into that early stages, of course. Even the developer puts the product out between their friends. Hey man, I'm selling at 5,000 dirhams a foot. Take it at 2,000 dirhams a foot on the day of the launch and return your money. That's how buildings get built as well, right?
Yeah.
These people don't pump with their own money, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
business. Okay. Anything else, guys? You want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Won't
Yeah.
take any more of your time.
No problem, man.
Man, this conversation was amazing, bro.
Yeah.
I learned so much. Can we put that in the Yeah, I didn't know about these buildings, man. Like this last thing which you told me about, like this the whole process. Like I did not know exactly. Like because a lot of people do ask me, like in that I told you about Sakran Tower. They're asking me like, should I go to the DLD now and ask my money back? Do you think I'll get my money back? I'm like,
I mean, I wish I could explain it exactly 100% the way it's actually done, but this is just like a brief
Yeah.
overview of it.
It's kind of insolvency for like most company structures, like, isn't it? Everybody else gets paid before,
yeah,
you know.
before the
man.
buy.
Yeah, basically. No, that's been absolutely fantastic, Zoheb. Really appreciate
Anytime,
you,
man. Thank you
thank
for
you
coming.
so
I
much.
liked your questions. That was cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well
Thank you
done.
for answering them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure we'll see more of you online, and hopefully
Awesome.
we'll speak to you again soon.
Pleasure for coming. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you.